Recently, I played this game for the very first time, Racing Simulation Monaco Grand Prix, or to give it its other title, Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2. Long story short, I really enjoyed this game. The handling and physics were brilliant, the AI were really smart, they fought each other, they defended against you, they attacked you, they made mistakes. Now this game doesn't have an official license, which is why I never looked at it until now, but it's effectively doing the 1998 season. But I said at the end of the last video that actually, if you consider it amongst the officially licensed games, this would be among the best of them. However, before I think it can really earn that title, there's a couple of other tests we need to try. The first is the Monaco Grand Prix, because while it doesn't have an F1 licence, it's got an Automobile Club de Monaco licence. It's called Monaco Grand Prix, so that should be pretty good, right? So we're going to have to try that. The other one, which could be a trump card if it nails it, is wet weather. It's generally accepted that the best Formula 1 games of the PS1 era are Formula 1 and Formula 1 97 by Bizarre Creations. And while those games are both excellent, they both have a weakness, and it is wet weather. In the original game, the issue is race pace. The AI are just way too slow in the wet, whereas you can pretty much drive the track like it's dry. The only indication you get that it's actually raining, apart from the graphics, are if you touch a curb, and then you'll spin right round baby, like a record baby, right round, round round. Formula 1 97 partially fixes this issue by having much better handling in the wet. It feels like the car is nowhere near as planted and you're having to fight for grip, and be really careful about your turning and your throttle application. However, the AI are still a little bit weaker than they should be in wet weather, not to mention they can behave like complete donkeys. However, the issue in 97 shifts to qualifying. If it's a wet qualifying session, you can easily put 3 to 4 seconds on the field. So how does Racing Simulation MGP do? Is the handling representative of being in the wet? And are the AI still as much of a challenge as they are in the dry? Let's find out. Now, if you watched the first video I did on this game, you'll know the first thing I did was rename the teams and drivers so they were correct to the 98 season. However, I realised afterwards I did it wrong, because I just renamed them in whatever order I could remember. But they'd done it in a very specific order. Team 1 is supposed to be Williams, Team 2 is supposed to be Ferrari, and you can tell through the name. So you've got N. Humiger, and for the team supposed to be Jordan, you've got a different Humiger, because obviously you've got Michael and Ralph Schumacher. Also, I just want to point out, Eddie Irvine, Ted Wine. That is so perfect for him. I feel like going forward, he will henceforth be referred to as Ted Wine. But yeah, because I didn't order them in the way the game intended me to order them, that's probably why Ferrari weren't that good last time. I put them in the wrong slot. So clearly they've assigned the performance accordingly. So I've done it properly this time around with Williams, Ferrari, Benetton, in the order that it should be done. So, having fixed that, let's get straight on and try a race at Monaco first, and then we'll do a wet weather race. So, I'm going to treat myself this time around and drive as A. Hans Fazen himself in the Winfield Williams. Similarly going to stick to auto gears for now, but damage on realistic, which should be fun. We're going to go back up to expert, keep it sunny for now. We'll start in the middle of the pack once again. 10% and penalties. I'm also not going to make any changes this time around to the setup. I feel like that's a whole other thing I could explore. It is slightly annoying you don't get to do like a full race weekend in single race mode. That is a negative in its favour, but I suppose it's just a quick race. Okay, here we go. The lights go on, and off we go in Monaco. Be very careful into turn 1. We don't want any concertina nonsense. Careful. Careful against the wall. Oh, we've just been done by a Sauber there up the hill. Up into Casino Square. Oh, I feel like I've just been hit. Oh, and I've got damage. Prost has just hit me up the rear. And my right rear has now got damage. Oh, and we've come to almost a complete stop. That's not very good. The low is hairpin. The Sauber just struggling to turn the corner. Now I've got red wing damage, I've got red... Jesus Christ. This is not going well to begin with. Into the Nouvelle chicane, get it stopped. Ugh, it's so sluggish to turn with that damaged wing. It's almost impossible to turn now. Oh, I'm becoming a bit of a roadblock, and I don't want to be a roadblock because I will get a black and white flag for my bang out of order behaviour. Okay, so we've... It's an eventful first lap, but we've not gained or lost any places. I've now just hit the wall on Saint-Devote and damaged my right front. Christ, imagine doing a full distance race around this. The damage is unrelenting. And the AI has to be... Oh, look where you're f***ing going, man. Oh! Did a Sauber just f***ing take my wheel off? Sorry, I'm slightly in They're not shy about overtaking, but was that move on? I don't think so. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? And before I try again, I am going to try again, I am going to make some changes. First of all, why am I carrying around so much fuel for an 8-lap race? Let's give ourselves a fighting chance. I'm going to turn up the steering angle, because I feel like it needs it. Go on, we'll just go super downforcey. I feel like on the other F1 games you can very easily block. Once you're in front, it's easy to block them. Here, they're much more of a challenge to keep behind you. That being said, that move into Mirabeau was not off in any sense of the imagination. Here we go, lights out again. Oof. Nearly tangled with the Sauber immediately. We're going to try and take advantage of the nonsense into Saint-Devote. Up through Beau Rivage, and we are up to 10th. Interesting to see how the setup changes change things, and actually that immediately feels better coming into Casino Square. Feels pretty good. So that's good. The setup changes definitely make a difference. Through Mirabeau, I'm going to be paranoid every single time we go through there. Although, oh well. What am I supposed to do there? They come to a complete stop. A damaged left front and a damaged left side pod. Brake earlier, dude. Nearly just took out Panis. Oh, for God's sake. Even struggling with this. Oh, God, I've been hit again. The AI are quite impatient. Gotta say, even with those changes, it's better than it was, but the car feels still quite heavy and understeery. On open tracks, the handling feels really good and at home, but around Monaco, this doesn't feel very good. To be fair, I'm still probably not doing the best job at driving around this track. We've got a bit of space behind us now at least, so don't have to worry. Earlier on the brakes into the Nouvelle chicane. I mean, that one was just on me, it has to be said. This is really difficult. But I'm not getting angry at the game, because I do feel like it's mostly skill issue. Let's try one more time. It would just be nice to make it to the end of 8 laps. This is an 8-lap race around Monaco. You may remember I read some of the funny, slightly off-the-wall descriptions about some of the tracks last time. Monaco, it very much plays up that it's a challenge, that it is the ultimate test. You've got to be careful of, you know, the walls and stuff. And actually, it's played into that very well. It is a challenge. It's... oh, God. This is a bit cheeky. No one said it was wrong, it's fine. We've got a yellow flag, but we are green now. So, what I will say for it is, winning Monaco seems like it's the ultimate test on this game. And that's correct, really, isn't it? It's the way it should be. So if you do actually succeed round here, you are going to have worked for it and bloody deserved it. Oh, God! I'm just not driving the car properly. I'm trying to turn too late, and the turning circle just isn't there. It's a little bit better through Sandoval, that's okay. Right, no one's going to dive bomb me up to Mirabeau, and I beg your unbelievable pardon, Johnny Herbert. Oh, Christ. That is a bit bad, though. You can't ignore the fact that they shouldn't be coming to a dead stop around the Lowe's hairpin. So that is a slight letdown. He wasn't even anywhere near me. How did he even make a move on me then? Teleported past me. Oh. Pushing the limits there of legality, but again, not black and white flagged. So not bang out of order. That was bang in order. This game very much needs you to be smooth. No late corrections. You need to be very deliberate and take the right line. Which is kind of like the original F1 game in that sense, because it was controlling on the D-pad. So it was very much about getting a smooth line. You couldn't enter the corner wrong and make quick corrections. Oh, wide there, Christ. Is at least a little bit forgiving, because I feel like that front left should probably be red by now, with all the times I've tagged the wall. Oh! Is that just someone yeeting me into the wall? Is that an arrows? Jesus. The more donkey-ish elements of the AI are being shown up a bit there, because okay, it's great that they're aggressive, but they're also just driving into you at certain points. Big fight behind me. One thing this game has managed to do is create overtaking at Monaco, which is somewhat unrealistic, but oh, you know, I can't. I'm genuinely being quite awful. I am getting pushed around this section of the track. That's just comical around the Lowe's hairpin. That's, yeah. Oh, that was comical coming into Portier. How far out is that wall? That's ridiculous. Oh, God. So we have 3 attempts in the Monaco Grand Prix, and we retire from all of them. Excellent stuff. Good content, this. Very good. I do think that was a bit 50-50. Half of it was I was not driving well, and there were bits when I was starting to get, I was like, okay, here we go, and then I tagged the wall. So, part of it was me, and I appreciate that Monaco does feel like a real challenge on this, and that you're going to have to work to win it. However, donkey-ish AI around the Lowe's hairpin, overly aggressive, and surely damaging their own cars with some of the moves they're doing. I was slightly disappointed with that one. But now time for the big test. So we're going to go to Luxembourg. Well, we're not. We're going to Germany. We're going to the Nürburgring, and we're going to do a wet weather race. The reason I've gone to the Nürburgring is I've done a race very recently in F1 97 in the wet. Go check it out, but I think it was the perfect summary of what it's like driving in the wet in that game, where good handling makes it very challenging, but AI, similar donkey-ishness to what you've just seen. Okay, Okay, let's see what this is like. Once again, starting from 11th on the grid. Lights out in Luxembourg. Bit sluggish off the line. Very much used to that. Right. First braking zone. Oh, there's immediately tentativeness. Saubers. The Saubers are very aggressive. Sending it again. Kind of slammed the door on an arrows there. Another negative is the grass and the gravel. I think it's slightly too sticky when you put a wheel on it. Trying to send it up the inside. Yes, back past the arrows. Honestly, on circuits, on purpose-built circuits, the handling just works, and it's very, very satisfying. A little bit of a concertina though, up to the hairpin. Up the hill we go. Through the Schumacher S, although it's not called that yet. There is a bit of a traffic jam up ahead. I'm going downhill into this one. Oof. I think I just had contact with maybe an arrows or a Prost there. Yeah, some of the elevation changes are not quite accurate. Bit of contact with the Benetton there. Up to the Vidal chicane. Oh, slightly over the curb. Gonna try and get on the exit against this Benetton. Where is it? There. We're up to 7th. Hakkinen next. Because I've not actually finished a race yet. I don't even know what my updated rename is doing to the performance. First of all, it seems like the AI are approved. God, missed my breaking point. Yeah, it feels like the AI remain a pretty good challenge, a consistent challenge between wet and dry. But what I will say is, it does just feel like we're still driving in the dry. Like I said in the last one, there's sometimes feelings of like loss of grip over the curbs. I was expecting that maybe in the tarmac as well. Ooh, please don't dive bomb me into this one, Mika. Oh, well, I've gone... Oh, damn, I've gone over there. I've not been called for cutting. I am actually going to let him have that back. Because I feel like I should have been punished. But we'll just try and get him again on the main straight. Just up and under. Decent straight line speed and past the McLaren. Coulthard next. While it feels like driving in the dry, I wonder if you do have quite as much grip in the turns. Because I do feel like I'm having to slow maybe a bit more than I did in dry weather conditions. Oh, bloody hell. Sliding a little bit wide there. So while it's not quite as good as I think F1 97 does for wet weather handling, it might just be some more subtle changes. I'd be interested to see if the lap times are comparable. Didn't see anything. It'd be interesting to see if the lap times are comparable or how much there's a difference between wet and dry. But once again, on a circuit, I'm really enjoying driving this game. It's just so satisfying to drive the cars. And you get some good racing with the AI. Gonna go side by side up to here. He's slow on exit. Oh, bloody hell. On the limit again there. The move was already done. I'm not giving that one back. You can sod off. But the game's still not punishing me for a corner cut there. It's feeling quite lenient, it has to be said. Okay, so we've got Schumacher next in the Ferrari. go, send it to the inside, go, 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 go. Oh, gone a bit wide. We managed to get the move done, we're up to 4th. Coulthard, 6 seconds, that's quite a big gap. Ooh, oh wow. Completely missed my braking zone there. Am I just off in a world of my own? Schumacher reeling is in. We pulled out a decent gap to him, but that's not going to help our chase of Coulthard to get on the podium. Start the final lap. The gap is still 5 seconds. After that mistake, I've driven quite well. So the front 3 have got pretty good pace. So I appreciate the fact that it's not just been me charging through the field slowly catching everyone. They are pretty good up there. Come on. And Villeneuve is now the car ahead. Coulthard and Villeneuve trading places on the final lap. We do just catch a glimpse of Villeneuve as that fight slowed him down a little bit. Ooh. God damn it, that might have just ruined my chance to get on the podium. The two Williams coming together, it seems a bit slow to be honest. Into the Vidal chicane, he slows it right down. Can we make a move into the final corner? And again, he's going really defensive. Always Villeneuve with the defensive move, stick it to the inside. Sorry, Jacques. Not going to be happy his teammates just done that to him. But Eddie Irvine, Ted Wine with the victory. Coulthard 2nd, Frentzen 3rd, Villeneuve 4th, Schumacher 5th, and an excellent 6th for Damon Hill ahead of Mika Hakkinen. To summarise, wet weather, good in terms of the AI difficulty level. It remains consistent with the dry, which is a tick compared to the Bizarre Creations games. However, handling in the wet doesn't feel like there is handling in the wet. It feels like it's just in the dry. You might be a little bit slower around the corners, but honestly I'd be interested to see if you can do comparable lap times. And after recording this, I decided to test it out. I jumped into a free run session, and that time in the top corner was the first flying lap that I set. So while the handling doesn't change massively in the wet, you can see there is a consideration for how quickly you can get up to speed and how quickly you can take the corners. And I'm about to go even quicker as we cross the line, so about 5-6 seconds between wet and dry. So that is something at least. That being said, it's still a very fun experience. Monaco, a bit of a letdown in terms of how the AI behave, but I appreciate the challenge that it's going to be work to win the centrepiece of this game. And I admit that I didn't drive very well and probably could have done a little bit better. So I would still rank this very highly among the PS1 era games, but it just doesn't quite break those Bizarre Creations games that started it all off. I mean, they're still the ones, even with the flaws that they have, they're still better. But this is still a fine game. A solid alternative to doing 1998. With the rename feature, you could do any season. Like 96 is a good option because there's literally only one difference in the calendar. As has been suggested by friend of the channel Aubrey, we could also do something more community driven, have some, fantasy elements in with real drivers, which, to be honest, I'm really liking that idea and might look at later in the year. It does annoy me that you can't do like a full race weekend, practice, qualifying, and the race itself. So I want to try that. We're going to do one final test, and we're going to do round 1 of a championship. We're not going to continue on with this championship, it's purely to test what a race weekend is like. So we will head to Albert Park with a Hans Fazen to give it one last try and see what a race weekend experience is. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I can't believe the response to the first time I played this game. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that for the second one, but for everyone who came and stayed off the back of that video, I really appreciate it. It's good to have you here, and hopefully you will join me for another video very soon. Thanks for watching.